So glad you tuned in and you took the time to. Right, well, here I am back again, Jean Lewis Dog Wheelchairs. But tonight, I mentioned it today, thanks for coming in, because tonight I'm going to deal with something that's actually a little bit controversial at the moment. But hey, what's YouTube about? We need some controversy, don't we? I mean, you don't really get it on the mainstream media because obviously they have to really watch what they're doing, what they're saying. So, just to let you know, first of all, I don't intend to give my opinion either way on any of this, what I'm going to talk about tonight. But tonight, because it's so much in the public domain, I've done a little bit of research and I thought, let's talk about the XL Bully, which of course you'll have all hopefully heard about at the moment. A lot of people didn't know much about them unless you own one. But of course, now because of the tragedies that have happened, and they are tragic, it's terrible. It's in the main public arena. So, I've got a few things that I'd like to say. First of all, I'm very glad that the government has cleared up some of the worries of people who already own an XL Bully. It's a part of their family, and it was the same with the pit bull before it was banned. So people seem to think, and that's why I'm talking about it tonight. Maybe you haven't read the papers, maybe you haven't seen it on the internet. So I thought I'll have a chat about it tonight. On Friday, the Prime Minister announced that they are going to be banned by the end of the year. Well, of course, what they mean is, which they've now, I believe, put into terms that everybody can understand, it doesn't mean that someone's going to come to your house, knock the door and drag your dog away. That's not what they mean. They mean banned from entering the UK, banned from being imported in. I believe they are going to ban them being bred. So from what I can gather, and I've got my laptop in front of me, I'm just going to pop onto this when I need to, but I have looked at it today. As far as I can see, what they're going to do, if you've got an XL Bully, when that ban comes in, you haven't got to do it at the moment because it's not illegal at the moment. They haven't passed it yet. So they're going to want you to go and register your dog. Number one. Number two, if you take your dog out in public, he must wear a muzzle, or she must wear a muzzle. So that's two of the things that they intend to do. Now, also, when they're registered, there's a lot of people talking about, well, hang on, how on earth do you know if your dog is actually an XL Bully? Because a lot of people, they get mixed up. Like the Mastiff for a start, they look a heck of a lot like one, a Cane Corso. People can get mixed up a lot, thinking, is that an XL Bully or not? Well, this is quite stunning. The government, they plan to have a standard test. How on earth they're going to do that, I don't know. They're going to have a standard test, and when you register your dog, your XL Bully, they're going to take its DNA, and then they will decide, judging by their standard test, which is yet to be announced, of how that's going to work, if it is a genuine XL Bully, which of course was bred through a variety of breeds to get that XL Bully. I mean, the XL Bully, the is not recognised by the American Kennel Club. It is recognised by the US United States Club, and that came about in 2013. But it's not recognised by the American Kennel Club. That probably is not going to make much difference to you because it's your pet and you love them. So, no, just be assured, if you're worried to death out there, nobody's going to come running in and remove your dog. So at the moment, you're fine. Just go along as you are. Keep your eye on the media, the mainstream media. Keep your eye on the papers. Keep tuning to me because I'll give updates as they come along. Yes, I do dogs in wheelchairs. We've also had XL bullies who needed a wheelchair. So I deal with all dogs, anything to do with dogs, and I'll talk about it. So, the law's concerned with the type of dog rather than the breed. And the prohibited types are identified according to their appearance rather than their breed name, which is a bit strange, by genetics DNA. And the government has now committed, as I said, to working with experts to define that American bully XL type. So I'm looking forward to how they're going to do this standard test. But we'll find out soon anyway. So what's going to happen, I'll go to this, if I own an American Bully XL. That is what they're called, but they call them XL bullies. An American Bully XL type dog, they haven't been banned yet, and the government has announced there will be an amnesty period when they are banned, so to give you owners have time to prepare to register your dogs. And you will need to, otherwise, don't be worried, just get your dog registered and do what you need to do to be safe, to keep your pet. They will only go after people who don't go and register their dogs. And you think, well, how are they going to know? How are they going to know? Because, trust me, I know what will happen. People who, I wouldn't, but people out there will probably go looking around and think, that's an XL bully. I hope they got it registered. And you don't want this, so the best thing to do is do what the government want, go off when the ban comes in whatever period they give you, probably a few months, register your dog so you can keep your beloved furry friend with you. So if you own the American Bully, you can start preparing now to make sure that your dog, and this is another thing, I don't know if you all know out there, I think the government are going to, part of that ban and part of you registering and keeping your dog, they're going to want you to neuter your dog so that no puppies are bred if you've got a female XL bully. Microchipped, and start training them to wear a muzzle now, because if they go out in public they're going to have to. You can also obtain a third-party liability insurance. I don't know if you know that. So have a look at that. Go on the internet, look for that third-party liability. So if you are out and there's any mishap at all, but by wearing a muzzle, obviously no other unfortunate could then be savaged. As I say, my heart goes out to the family of the man and all of the other. There's children haven't died, thank the Lord. But, you know, you've got to be your heart's got to feel for the families of these people, no matter what. So train your dog up now. If you don't already have a muzzle, train your dog up, and then everything will be lawful. You'll have no worries. You can keep your dog and it'll be fine. So, right now, the American XL Bully type can't be exempted as that ban isn't in place yet. So if anybody tells you now, what you're doing with that dog out here, they can't, because it's not banned yet, hasn't come in yet. So don't you worry. When a ban comes into force, the American Bully XL owners will need to apply for a certificate of exemption to be able to keep their dogs. And they will want you to give evidence that your dog is not a danger to the public. How that's going to work, I don't know about you, I'm a bit confused. What evidence can you possibly give that your dog is not a danger to the public? All of you out there who's watching, if you've any idea how they're going to achieve that, how they're going to make that happen, message me or send me a comment now, or whatever you want to do, because I really want to know. Because you see, the government really need to get into this, because people listening to me now, and I'm reading it from the government website about the XL Bully. None of this is made up. I'm taking it from here, a lot of it. I've got my own thoughts coming in a minute, which I think you're going to be really interested in. And I'm going to ask you some questions and see if you can answer them for me as well. So how they're going to do that, I think they really need to do a full agenda and explain fully what on earth they mean. How can you prove and give evidence that your dog is not a danger in the public? How can you give any evidence of any dog that it won't be dangerous in the public? I mean, a German Shepherd, Rottweiler, Doberman, whatever breed. I can't see how that's going to work, but I'm quite sure that the powers that be will tell us and let us know. So I look forward to finding out about that. So let's move on. Right. Exempt dogs. These are the dogs that you're going to register that you already own when that ban comes in, and get that exemption certificate. So at the moment, what they're saying is, once they're exempt and you've got that certificate, your dog, if it's a bitch, whatever, has to be neutered, microchipped, kept on a lead at all times in public, and muzzled, and kept in a secure place so they can't escape out into the public on their own. And the owners must also, so it looks like they're going to make you do this, have third-party liability insurance against your dog injuring any other people. The owner of the dog must be over 18. Show the certificate of exemption when asked to by a police officer or council dog warden, either at the time or within 5 days. So you've got to show them your licence. Let the index of exempt dogs know if you change address or your dog passes away. So This is quite in depth. It really is. I'm quite stunned. So, I'm going to come to what I wanted to pop into here in a minute, which I thought about yesterday. And I thought, I'm going to mention this. I don't know if anybody's thought of this. So, which types of dogs are already banned in the UK? Now, most of you out there know that one of those dogs is a pit bull terrier and has been banned for some period. The other dogs are a Japanese tosser, a Dogo Argentino, which we don't see many of, and a Fila Brasilero. Now, I've never seen those last three in real life. I've seen them on YouTube, I've seen them on Google, the images, but what I'm about to say, listen up intently, because I'll ask you about it if you have any ideas on this. But it's illegal to breed, sell, give away or abandon any type of banned dog. It's criminal, can you believe? So, if you do own a currently banned breed, which, let's just go for the Pit Bull Terrier a minute, because that's coming into my conversation in a minute, and you haven't got a certificate of exemption to keep them, right at this moment, the police can seize the dog and they can keep them, even if they're not acting dangerously, because they're a banned breed. It doesn't matter if they haven't done anything or a complaint hasn't been made. If you're seen in the street with a pit bull and an officer believes it's a pit bull, because don't forget, they can't just go, that's a pit bull. They have to test them, genetics, to see if, is it a pit bull? I think it is, the officer, but that's not good enough. They can, if they believe it is, take your dog to kennels and they can do a DNA test. So, just remember that. So, it's getting all complicated, isn't it? You had your dog from a puppy, thought, oh wow. And now, all of this is coming into force. And I'll say once more, the people who've lost a family member, they're not going to be too worried about people who've got to go through this. All of these things that they have to do now to be lawful, obviously, because of their grief, they're going to be so happy. And you can't blame them, can you? If it was you and you'd lost a family member, instead of you being on the other side, the one who's the owner of an XL Bully, you'd probably feel like that too. So, you know, there's got to be some give and take here. So I'd just like to say that. So the American XL Bully dogs, just to put your mind at rest, are not currently banned, so none of these laws apply to you yet. But when that ban comes into force, the government has said they're going to give you that transition period and give you time to prepare to do all of these things that I've just been talking about, to register your dog, get insurance and everything else that you may need to do. I just want to tell you that the Dogs Trust, who I've got a lot of time for, they're on here and they're here to help all dog lovers, and they will do everything to support you through the transition period. So the Dogs Trust are brilliant. If you need any more questions answering, you wouldn't do worse than to go to the Dogs Trust and ask them about anything that's worrying you. So that's basically all of it. But I'm just going to go back over the exempt dogs when it comes in, when the ban is on. So you won't be able to purchase an XL Bully then. The breeders now, they'll be banned from selling them. If your dog who you've took in to be tested is exempt, will need to be neutered, microchipped, kept on a lead and muzzled at all times in the public, and kept in a secure place at home, unable to escape on their own. And you have to look around now, I would, for third-party liability insurance. I say that, have a look now, because when the ban comes in, there's going to be so many people rushing to get third-party liability. The payments will probably go up through the roof because they're going to know that you've got to have it. So have a look now and get it in place before that ban comes in, because it is coming in. This isn't just talk. They are going to ban them. Don't forget, if you've got an XL Bully in your family, don't let your child go out and take the bully out who's under 18. And if they do, make sure they've got a muzzle. So you're within the law, and then you're protecting yourself and your beloved pet. And that's what you want to do, isn't it? So take your certificate of exemption when they give you it, the exemption certificate, and keep it on you when you go for a walk with your XL Bully, because you can be stopped by a police officer or a dog warden, and if you've got it with you, yeah, okay, they give you 5 days to produce it to them. I'd just keep it with you like you do your driving licence or anything else that you keep with you, and then you can just pop it out and go, no, I've got an exemption certificate. And then you haven't got to worry about it over that 5 days, and you haven't got to go anywhere to take it to them. Keep it with you. So there's a lot of things you can do. Yeah. And then you've got to let the index of exempt dogs know if you change your address or if your dog sadly passes away. So you can get all this up on YouTube, on Google, as I say, in the newspapers if you buy one and read them, but they're expensive, so I wouldn't. Just go on here, go on your laptop, go on your computer. I've got another thing to say to everybody. I had to do this tonight because it's been bugging me. And what I'm about to say, somebody may already know the answer to. I don't. And I think that the government are going to have to answer this and clear it up for everybody, because a lot of people are probably worrying about something. What if you've already got a pit bull cross XL Bully? The one's already banned, the pit bull, and the XL Bully is about to be banned. How does it work then? The government, I believe, I haven't seen anything, they haven't discussed this. That means you've got a pit bull who you may well already have public liability. They may already be registered. I know at the time when they were banned, you had to register them. Not everybody probably did, but if you didn't, I would. So you bought a dog and you're told it's an XL bully, but it's a cross and it's a pit bull and an XL bully, yeah? So what's the procedure there? What are the government going to do there? Have you got to have 2 exemptions certificates? One for the pit bull part of your dog and one for the XL bully part of your dog. They need to clarify and do a lot more and bring out a full report for people who are seriously worried at the moment. I've spoke to one person who's got a pit bull cross XL bully and their head's coming off, thinking, well, what do? It's a crossbreed, but it's crossbred with a banned dog that's already banned. So what have I got to do? It's not a full XL bully. So listen up, anybody as well who's looking in from the government, bring out a paper, a report, and clarify and make it really clear to people what they would have to do in that situation. Yeah? Also, what about if there's 3 breeds? What about, well, there already is a number of breeds in the XL bully, but what if, like sort of down the line, the lineage, if there's something else in there as well, do you have to still register? Do you have to still get an exemption certificate? What about if you've got a first cross XL bully with a Labrador? Does that come under it? Have you got to go and have your dog tested? Have you got to, what have you got to do? These are all the questions that's got to be asked and answered, because there are people out there right now who are thinking, oh, well, my dog has got some XL bully in him, but the other bit's Labrador or Spaniel, or you've seen all these cockapoos and all these different breeds. What do they do? Are they going to be breaking the law if you don't get an exemption? What, you know? So, to the government, please clear everything up and make it clear as daylight for people what they've got to do. So, I was looking forward to tonight. Don't normally talk about controversial things, but I really thought it needed it, especially as my own brain was thinking these things of what I've just been saying. So there's something to think about. Anybody got any ideas on what they're going to do about that? Or you actually already know it? Let me know. Come on to the community channel. It's in the right hand corner. Click on the link. You can come straight through. Talk on the community hub. Also, it'll take you to our videos as well. One last thing. A lot of the XL bullies, some have been, as you'll have seen, they've been bred with shorter legs, turning out a bit more. I personally, I don't like it. I really don't like it. Some of them find it very difficult to walk. And of course, in a few years to come, then it will be probably coming into more in my sort of domain, dog wheelchairs. I wouldn't be surprised if quite a few of them end up needing a dog wheelchair. I hope not, but yes, I can see it. And I hope that the owners who have them now, who want to breed them with whatever they're doing, just think about that, because they might look however you want them to look now, but they might end up sort of crippled. And you know, I love dogs, all dogs. I mean, I can remember back when they wanted to ban the Rottweiler. There was a spate of attacks, and that was thought to be a terribly dangerous dog, and they didn't do it in the end. But I've got to say, and again, please, this is not to put down anything to do with those attacks. It's horrific, and that's it. But a few years ago, I remember a Jack Russell who's bred to hunt and go down fairy tales and whatever. Smaller dogs, and I don't want to detract at all from what's happening with the XL bullies at the moment, or any other dog that savages anybody, to be quite honest. Even small dogs, if you've got youngsters, and especially young babies, don't. There was an incident where a Jack Russell savaged a little one. There's probably been more than one. I remember one. That's all I remember. But they're bred to chase. And of course, if you've got a little one, the best thing to do is, it doesn't matter how much you love your dog, trust your dog. Do you know the best thing? Don't leave your dog too long alone with any kids or anything. Just to be on the safe side, you know. I had a German Shepherd, and I loved him. I had him from 5 weeks old, not my choice. I bottle fed him. His name was Jess, and I loved that dog. I loved him to bits. Broke my heart when he had to go. His legs went. But just before that, before his legs went down, and believe me, I loved him to pieces. But when my granddaughter come, I was in the kitchen, and just only once in his life ever did it. He missed her, but he took a lunge at her, at her face, and God forbid, his legs had gone anyway, but I was trying to think of a way to keep him, but that made my mind up for me. It could have had a face off. So, me personally, any dog as well, just be careful. Okay, I'm gonna cut now. Don't forget, if you've got any information for me, or you want to ask anything, feel free. Go to the community channel. That's what we want. Build a community of dog lovers together. Or anybody who, you don't have to have one, just love dogs, like dogs. I'm going now. I hope you've enjoyed this. There'll be another podcast tomorrow. Hopefully, people have come through to me with some great comments, and I can discuss that tomorrow as well. Along with lovely walks and talks that we do. We're going to another historical building, hopefully tomorrow, if the weather's good. Going off now. Got a very dry throat after all of that business. Don't forget, thumbs up, like, share, and definitely, you can see that on the wall. Definitely smash the button, smash the subscribe button. We're heading towards 10,000 subscribers. We need you. Come on now. Do it for the dogs. See you in the next one.